Today we're taking on what is written as Home Tutor Hitman Reborn, which I guess is the translation, but it's Katekyo. I used to be so good at saying Katekyo Hitman Reborn, and it's a series that I have a lot of sort of history with because when I started watching it, well, like every other series in this game, I started watching it because of this game, and yeah, something about it just sort of made me really intrigued about it because I wasn't really sure what the fuck was going on. I was really confused. So like, what in the hell is actually going on? So I decided, like, let me just watch this. Because I remember seeing, I forgot what I was watching. I was watching something on Crunchyroll, and they had an ad for this series about how this whole thing, like some sort of like cliffhanger sort of season ending thing, and like it was like, oh, so crazy. So I was like, wow, that's totally different from what I'm seeing in this game. So I figured it looked really cool. So I was like, alright, let me go check this out, right? So I started watching it, and the main complaint I have, or one of the main complaints I have on the series, is that the first freaking like 20 episodes are pretty much comedic and feel really fillery. They're kind of important just because they introduce pretty much a lot of, all of the main characters for the series. The only main issue is that it takes so goddamn long. It's similar to Gintama, where it does kind of that as well. The only thing is that Gintama is episodic. It that's kind of what you're getting yourself into in the first place, right? Whereas like this is not at all episodic. It's just took a really, really long time to get into, which is nor here nor there. The first two sort of arcs were really good. I really enjoyed them. Oh, fucking ass face. Yeah, the first two arcs for the series are really good. I really enjoyed it a lot. That's where I got really into the series a lot. The openings were cool and all that kind of stuff. It's a really good series, and I felt like I sort of earned this just because I had been watching it for so long, and just I put so much hope into it, and then finally started paying off, right? Then the third arc kicked off, and then I was kind of I liked the concept, but I just figured it was way too soon. But I guess I'll get back into that. Let me actually talk about the series itself. So the series stars here. I forgot what it was Hideyoshi Suna, right? I believe that was his name. Or Tsunayoshi. It was Tsunayoshi, and then something else. Well, I forgot his surname. But it starts off here with Suna, who's just your average loser who just pretty much sucks at everything. Sucks at sports. Sucks at getting good grades. Sucks at school. Sucks at social life. Sucks at everything. He's just a complete loser, right? And turns out that his sort of family is involved with the mob, and that he's gonna be a descendant of one of the mob leaders, and he's gonna end up being the next, or one of the next. I don't know if he's immediately the next, but he's gonna be one of the next leaders of this, giant mafia that's been working under the works. And oh boy, do not fucking kill me with that nonsense again. That's one of the strongest support combos in this game, just because it's so quick. What does this do? It just eats. That's not what I want to do. And then that's fine, but I have to actually hit him with it, because I can just keep doing it. Oh, it keeps getting right in front of my face. God damn it, stop it! Suna! Stop making this way more difficult than it needs to be, and now I don't have any fucking SP. God freaking damn it, he's so annoying because he has that stupid ability that blocks hits. Like, in exchange for SP, he just blocks every fucking possible hit. So I have to hit him 7 trillion times just to be able to actually hit him. Oh, thank you. Anyways, so, Suna gets approached by the, sort of, I guess, titular character, Reborn, which is a little weird baby guy. He's part of the mafia. He's been brought in to sort of tutor him, and then nonsense from there occurs. I don't really want to get too much into detail into these sort of series, sort of specifics, especially in sort of the introduction. But they go on. They start introducing a bunch of different characters. They start sort of introducing more of the sort of like mob and mafia kind of things. It's very dumb and silly at first, but then it gets pretty serious at some point. During the first arc, where sort of there's this high schooler that's been beating the shit out of all the other high schoolers. So then finally Suna and like his friends decide to like get their heads out of their ass and do something about it. And you know, fighting scenes are pretty cool, and sort of the way people get their powers and stuff is pretty interesting in the game, in the series. But one of the main reasons why this good job, Suna. Where's the Jason? Oh, he's gonna get it before me. Yep, what an asshole. One of the main reasons why this series is sort of really home and dear to me is relating to the next arc in the series, where after they do all of that, turns out that the boss, the henchman mafia boss guy, he has his own like sort of posse, his main, you know, family, his clan, his followers, his top guys, right? And there's 6 of them. So, being that Suna's gonna be the next one, he's gonna have to appoint his 6. I don't know what I'm lacking on terms here because I can't really think of anything, but yeah, he's gonna have to appoint his new 6 family members, because they use family as much as they're the originators of using family for every other word, like the Fast and Furious series. But yeah, they need to start appointing that. So obviously the obvious sources are his friends, who he's managed to sort of acquire through his trials and tribulations. And the reason why it sort of stuck with me is because they share a lot of similarities with the sort of group of friends I managed to amass, which was, ironically enough, also the same in number. And it was extremely similar. Like, for example, they each have their own sort of symbol, or I guess symbol, I don't really know what other way to call it. For example, Suna being the head of the family, he gets the sky. Well, I guess I should clarify a little bit more. I don't know how to really explain it without really getting technical into the terms of the series, but they basically have their own attributes, right? And then these attributes are associated with which role they play in their family. And also, in addition, they get a ring to commemorate this. But the sort of theme of all the attributes are based on the sky, and Suna being, you know, the head and boss that he's supposed to be, is obviously the sky. So his attribute is the sky, which was pretty interesting. And then we had the sort of like right-hand man, which was Storm, which was supposed to be sort of like the I used to know the properties like off the top of my head, but I haven't seen the series in so long that I don't really even know it right now. But he's supposed to sort of just be like the sort of guy that gets shit done, you know, no nonsense kind of guy. And I had a friend like that was just like that, happened to be my best friend all through high school, and he was sort of a dickhead. So he was very heavily, you know, that kind of person where it was kind of like, you know, a douchebag, but he got shit done, and you know, deep down inside he wasn't such a complete ass, which shares some similarities with the character in the series that had that same attribute. So I thought that was really interesting. And then there was also the other character on the other side, the left-hand guy. His attribute was Rain, and he was sort of more of the calm, level-headed kind of guy. And he similarly shared an attribute with my other best friend. And obviously, in the series, those two characters butt heads a lot, given their conflicting philosophies. But obviously, also in my group of friends, this was also the case. They used to butt head a lot. But yeah, my guy was also extremely aloof and just really chill, almost to a point where it was kind of, you know, dangerous for him. Oh my god, fucking Yahiko is so annoying. Yeah, so we had the Rain and the Storm, so that was really interesting. And what was really interesting also is that in the series, the Rain guy, he played a lot of baseball. He was part of the baseball team, which was not similar to my guy. Oh my god. Can't believe he used that 3 times in a row. My guy, instead, he was good at baseball. The Storm guy was the one that actually was on the baseball team. But The other guy was also really good at baseball, but he also had the same sort of philosophy. It was just kind of chill, take your time. Things aren't that serious, to the point where it's like, where the point that I got, you know, like, you gotta take something seriously, you know? Like, life isn't all butterflies and rainbows. But, oh my god. He just used it, and he used it again immediately. And, following that, there was also, my other friend. One of the other attributes was lightning. Lightning was supposed to be sort of the, like, lightning rod, sort of, for the group. A sort of pillar of, like, strength that kind of supposedly took over the team, or like something of those sort. Was supposed to be sort of like, oh my lord. If I had $1 for every time you use that fucking thing, like, Jesus, I can't even get close to him because it covers so much range, and it gives you like 5 seconds to actually react. And he just keeps using it, and there we go, I'm dead. I'm dead because of this fucking ability. Oh my god. But yeah, the lightning attribute guy was Untitled Hero, actually. And he kind of was sort of the odd one out. He was very interesting. The similarities were kind of there, but not so much. They were sort of similar in a different way. But Untitled Hero, with my group of friends, he was always kind of the odd one out. Not in terms of, like, I don't know. Everyone was kind of like the odd one out when you think about it. But he was sort of the one that was sort of at wits with everyone and didn't really get along with everyone. People feel like he didn't belong. But he always kind of took it and still sort of treated everyone as family, for better or for worse, which was always pretty interesting. Oh, well, that's not good. That's a waste of fucking energy right there, but whatever. No, don't hit me with that. No, don't hit me with any of this. I don't want to get hit with any of that nonsense that you're throwing out there. Switch characters, Jesus. Kagura, please, save me. How? I didn't even get... Oh my god, this is horrible. Stop hitting me. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop it with all the fucking shitty support comas. Stop, I shot the shit out of that guy. How the hell did he eat like 50 bullets of my special and still come out on top? That's ridiculous. Oh, dear lord. I only managed to just clear the stage. I got 3 points and it doesn't even matter for shit. Fuck. Oh, you want ring out KLs? Alright, fuck it. We have to bring out Bae. Where is she? No, there's a better one. I don't have the classic one. Cause there's this classic deck that I guess this is close enough. Yeah, where it's just, you know, Seija and Lena, and that's all I really need. And it's just a bunch of stuff to boost them up. Whoops, didn't need to do that. Nope, there we go. Alright, so let's see if I can get rid of these guys real quickly. I can't believe I have to make ring out KOs. Yep. Excuse me. I haven't had to do that in a while. Come on, can you guys just get down here? This is ridiculous. Oh, for the love of God, get down! Oh. So yeah, there was the storm. I was the sky, obviously. There was the rain, and then there was the thunder, or the lightning, I should say. And then wow, they just did it for me. Great. Could have at least involved him in that. Can you guys fucking fight me? Oh lord. There, you happy? I came up here to deal with your bullshit. And now I'm gonna hit with that shit and die. Great. Just great. This is the worst level of all time. That wasn't even enough. I got like 5 KOs, and that wasn't enough. Ring out KOs, and that wasn't enough. Oh no, you gotta make me a bunch of support coma KOs too. That was difficult, but it's done. Jesus Christ, now we can finally go back to the survival. We just gotta survive and not get hit. And I can go ahead and talk about what I was trying to talk about. So, where was I? So I went over lightning. The next one was, actually, am I missing one? Oh yeah, okay, I got it now. Yeah, so the next one we'll go over is Sun. they called Guardians. There you go. That's what the series calls them. They were Guardians. So my equivalent was the brother of the Rain Guardian. In the series, their Sun Guardian was a boxer, and he was extremely energetic and sort of really positive and kind of outlandish, which was extremely similar to how my Sun Guardian was, because he was like the hype guy of the group before, you know, hype guys became a thing. It doesn't help that he was kind of white. I say kind of white because he's white, but, you know, circumstances, he's not white. I'm not gonna really get into that right now. But yeah, he was really something, and he was really the kind of guy you can depend on. Similarly to how you kind of just think about the sun is kind of like, you know, bright and shining. You kind of look at it, and it'll shine on you when you're at your darkest. That's kind of how he was, which was really interesting. Even not even like sort of on purpose. It was just kind of a thing that he did. It was just sort of how his character was, even though he was kind of, you know, dumb and silly. Following that, there was also sort of a Mist Guardian. This one was kind of complicated. This one was supposed to be sort of the one that kind of helps the family from afar. Isn't really directly involved, is, you know, really mysterious and whatnot. Which was, this role was played by the girl who, I went over her in, Catherine. Should go over that. She was Princess Sakuya. That was my Mist Guardian. She fit the role pretty perfectly because, you know, I mean, just go watch those videos that I did on her and you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. And it also helps that in the series, this role was sort of played by two people. It was played by one, it was mainly played by the guy, the sort of, what's the word? The main antagonist of the first arc that they had. He ended up being their Mist Guardian, but he was kind of in jail, so they kind of had like a placeholder, which was a girl, which is interesting because, you know, I kind of picked a girl as well. So, and they're also in relation to sort of what happened between Chris and Sakura. There's also a dude involved, which is pretty interesting. We obviously don't get along, or I don't get along with him at least. So that was always pretty interesting, the parallels, you know, how I can just keep pulling out connections out of my ass like that. And then finally there was the sort of Cloud Guardian. Cloud Guardian was supposed to be similar to the Mist one. I really don't remember sort of how the series goes over their differences, but the main thing the sort of the Cloud did was that they were a lot more aloof and distant from the family. They helped the family on their own terms, and they were sort of kind of far away. In the series, it was played by some douchebag who was a complete ass. Who everyone thought was really cool just because, you know, he had tonfas and he beat people up and whatever. But he was just one of those arrogant guys. Not so much arrogant. He was one of those characters where it's kind of like, oh, I'm the shit, I'm gonna do whatever I want, which was also kind of, it's difficult for me to describe him while saying that, because he was also part of like this disciplinary committee in the school, so he wasn't like, you know, a bully or anything like that in terms of like doing whatever he wants. He also had his own sort of, you know, motivations and whatnot. He was, in general, he was just a douchebag, which was, you know, obviously directly paralleling my Guardian, who was pretty much the same sort of criteria, who was just very cocky and independent, and, you know, forcefully trying to remove himself from us, but I kept dragging him into it. Yeah, and so then that was my group of friends who I sort of amassed throughout my years in high school, which was it was all just really interesting because it, you know, I didn't really have friends before high school. Like, I had some people in class that I used to know, and then, you know, back at home, and, well, I don't know if I should say back at home, because I've spent way more time here. Back in the Dominican Republic, when I had left here after being born, I made a friend of mine who's, you know, my best friend since he was a childhood friend of mine, right? And that was really my literally only friend up until that point. And it wasn't until high school, you know, I met my Rain Guardian, who introduced me to, obviously, Sun Guardian, who was his brother. And then from there, the Sun Guardian introduced me to the Storm Guardian. The Storm Guardian kind of introduced me to the Thunder, and between Thunder and Storm, we got introduced. Well, no, between Sun and Storm, and a little bit of Thunder, we got introduced into Cloud, and then between Thunder and Storm, we got introduced to the Mist Guardian. I kind of just pulled everyone together, and we just became, you know, a close-knit group of friends, and you know, that was really cool. And that's why, like, whenever I see this series, I, you know, draw a lot of parallels to it because of those times I spent a lot with my friends. The only main issue is that I don't really like the series all that much because it gets a little convoluted towards the end. But nonetheless, we've unlocked here the Devastated Galaxy, which is holding only one planet, the Hokuto no Ken, which is Fist of the North Star. But in addition to that, I believe we also got another coma that lets us unlock something. Let me just take a look. So we got here Suna and Reborn. They kind of work together. We got Reborn here, or Suna in his reborn state. Watch the series if you want to know more on that. Yeah, and he has, you know, his forms there. It's very silly. It's kind of dumb that they put him in the Laughter Galaxy, because I get it. It is comedical. Well, yeah, that's a lot of elements of the series, but it also really isn't after, you know, the first couple of chapters or volume, or maybe like after the first volume, it kind of gets really serious. No fun and games, really, or not to the point where I would say that the main theme of it is comedic, but I guess there's not really anywhere else to put it. This here is the Rain Guardian. Yamamoto Lambo is the Lightning Guardian, who is this weird baby who can, you know, 20 years later looks badass as hell. I always like the 10 years later one too as well. This is Gokudera, who was the Storm Guardian. I always thought this picture always looked really funny because it looked like he was wearing armor. So I really was really confused watching this, or sort of seeing these little chromas, because I thought he would have like some big bulky armor or something like that, but it's just the manga's screenshot. It just looks really weird. We got Bianchi here, who's actually the sister of Goku. She doesn't really play a lot of big roles. She's sort of around in the beginning for the lulz, but long term she's kind of irrelevant. Ipin is similar to Lambo. She's a baby who can also sort of transform into an older version of herself. But in general, she doesn't really play too much of a role in the series. Kyoko is actually the sister of the Sun Guardian, and she's obviously the love interest for Suna. And Haru is the other side of his harem, because Haru really wants Suna, but Suna wants Kyoko. Kyoko is kind of dumb and oblivious, and nothing really goes on from there that I know of. Ah, here we go. Ruchi from Sakigake Otokyokujukyu. I'm not sure what that's all about. But we got here a galaxy, the old-fashioned galaxy. I don't know if there's really much to that galaxy. I think it's only one world. Maybe there's two. We're gonna find out in a second. Let's go ahead and just take a look. So there's old-fashioned. Oh no, it actually has two worlds. All right. So yeah, it has. Oh right, there's Jungle King Tachan, and then there's that thing that I said earlier. But that's that. Next time we're actually gonna take on Jungle King Tachan, and then we'll leave Hokuto no Ken for kind of the end of that, because after that we'll have to take on a boss, kind of. But anyways, stay fresh.